Would you believe it's been 6 months since I did my first video on the DB9, and in that 6 months I've had 2 huge costly disasters and I've just had 1 massive service bill. Oh, this is going to be a painful video. Let's get into it. My name's Ben and welcome to Dadcars. Right, Monty, you go for a run. Go on then. Off you go while I film this video, okay? Dead a good boy. So whether you own one of these awesome Aston Martins, you're thinking about buying one, or you just want to see me in pain, I think this video is going to be interesting. So we're coming up to 2 years of me owning the DB9 and using it as my daily dad car. But 6 months ago, I said this in my first video.
Going forward, I think if you allowed about £2,000 a year for servicing and maintenance, you know, things going wrong or things that you've got to replace, I think that'd be about right.
Oh, look at little naive me, thinking that having just paid a £3,500 service bill, it was plain sailing from here. Oh, how wrong I was. First, let's talk about the massive service bill that I've just had to pay. So obviously this being glorious 6-litre naturally aspirated V12, every 7 years or every 70,000 miles, you have to change the spark plugs. And yes, obviously, there's 12 of them. See, with my car being 14 years old, the time was now. Lucky me, eh? And with almost comical timing, I noticed a slight misfire whilst driving back from filming a video review. So I stopped driving it instantly and got it to Phoenix and Basingstoke as quickly as possible. So obviously, the coils need replacing as well. All right, Ben, cut to the chase. How much does it cost you? Well, I've got the invoice here. Hang on, it's far too windy. Should we go in the car? Let's go in the car. As much as I'd like this invoice to blow away in the wind, sadly that doesn't mean the need to pay it disappears. Right, let's go through it, shall we? So, to carry out the service, the big one, the 70,000 mile service, where obviously change the spark plugs and just everything else as well, that was £1,430. I mean, I was even fortunate enough to win months before, completely unrelated, a competition where I got 10% off my next service. So I actually lucked in quite well there because it was a big service. So yeah, managed to save myself a bit of money. The MOT obviously flew through, no problems at all, £50. And then you got another biggie, the cost of 12 coils and the labour to fit them, £1,261. Ooh, I told you it's a big one, look. There's a back to here. It's two-sided. Replaced PCV valves. Now, they recommended that I did that as well whilst we're getting everything else done, and it seemed to make complete sense to me. £370. There was a fault showing with the brake pressure switch, so we got that replaced as well. Obviously, super important. £225. The fuel cap on my car wasn't popping up at all, so I asked them to investigate that. And they made it much better. But to fully fix it, they'd have to take all of the trim out on the rear seats here in order to gain access to it. So I asked them to stop short of doing the full job, but it is much better than it was. But the cost of that, £57. Reset driver wiper arm position, £28. Monty! All right, come on, buddy. Hey, you all right? That's just a group of like 20 dogs. Monty's really good. He doesn't bark or anything like that, but all the other dogs are barking at him. Right, where were we? Oh yeah, the front left side light wasn't working. And it's not an LED light like the problems I had with my rear one and the expense of that. It's just a bulb. Easy, just pop it in. No. You've got to take the wheel liner out, and you've also got to take the air filter box out to access it. So obviously a bit of labour involved as well. So replace the left side light was £94. But what did the grand total come to? What's the final bill? Well, remember, last year I had a £3,500 bill. And this one came to £3,530.60. Oh. So yes, a little bit more than the £2,000, which I so confidently said in my video 6 months ago. But wait, there's more. I told you there was 2 other costly disasters as well, didn't I? But I'll tell you what, let's pop this one in the car seat, get Monts back in the car, and I'll tell you all about it on our way home. Oh, goodness me. Oh, this is not easy, is it? There we go. Is that okay? Right, so I said there was 2 other costly disasters. Just bad luck, really. The first one, I got a screw in one of my rear tyres. How does that even happen? I don't understand the physics of it. Explain that, Brian Cox. How's that possible? So yeah, obviously I had to replace the rear 2 tyres, get a pair, at the cost of around £500. Oh, that was so frustrating. Then the other thing that happened was I had a warning SRS light come up on the dash. And it was straight after my 2-year-old had been playing in the car for about 20 minutes while I was cleaning it, and had moved the passenger seat into a really weird extreme position. So I was convinced that all that had happened was, you know, something came unplugged underneath the chair or something. But I took it up to the guys at Phoenix and asked them to take the seat out and check underneath, because I was convinced it was under there. They did so, but everything was fine. It actually turned out that it was the main airbag module that had failed. And by all accounts, that seems to be quite a rare module that goes wrong. I mean, I think these cars have got about 13 modules in them. And like the door modules and a few others, they are renowned for going wrong. But yeah, the main SRS airbag module, I just got really unlucky. But the cost of that to replace, including labour, I mean, they had to take apart all of this centre console section here. It was £693. Just incredible bad luck. So the grand total that this car's cost me in servicing and maintenance costs over the last 6 months, £4,724. A long way off of the £2,000 that I was hoping for a year. And that's not even taking into account fuel. But look, here's the thing. I'd be really, really annoyed at this if I just tucked this car up in a garage and was only bringing it out and doing less than 1,000 miles a year in it. I'd be really annoyed that it was costing that much to do minimal mileage while it was babied and tucked up in a garage. However, I drive this as my daily dad car, and we've done thousands of miles. We're sitting on nearly 46,000 miles now, so we're way on track to doing 10,000 miles in this car in a couple of years. And if you break that cost down into days of use, memories that I've made in this car with me and my children, filming videos for YouTube, I still feel it's good value for money. And I'm almost certain that next year's service will be around £600. And if you take a long-term view on these things, you know, owning a car like this over the course of 5 years, it probably will still work out that it's about £2,000 a year. So maybe I wasn't that wrong. But I think it does definitely highlight with these cars though, a reason why I think they get a bad reputation. Because they've been affordable for quite a while. I mean, you can get the early DB9s and the V8 Vantage. You've been able to get them in sort of like low to mid 20s for quite a while now. So they've probably been bought by people with, you know, 20-something thousand pounds. And then when they start getting all of these bills thrown up, they kind of think, oh no, I just won't bother doing that. I don't think these are cars that you can do that with, you know. Everything I've gone through that I've had done on this car is absolutely essential. And while I still need to get the front bumper resprayed and all 4 of the alloy wheels refurbished, obviously the things that I've been spending the money on take precedence, so that's why they still haven't been done. But look, if you're looking to buy a DB9, check through the paperwork and make sure that the sparks and coils have been done recently. Otherwise it's going to be a massive bill that you're going to have to pay. Also, if you're looking at cars which are 2010, 2011, just be mindful that it might be due within the next couple of years. Look, I want to say a massive thank you to Paul and Andrew, the guys at Phoenix AM. They've been so lovely holding my hand with the DB9 throughout my ownership experience. They're great. They dropped me and my daughter, whoever I brought with me, to the train station and pick us back up again when we drop the car off. Yeah, look, they're lovely guys. And if you're in the area, I can't recommend them enough. Also, I want to say a massive thank you to you for watching. Thank you. Please subscribe if you don't already, because honestly, on my tiny little channel, every single 1 subscriber I get, I notice it and it makes me smile, so please do. Also, all other engagement like liking and sharing and commenting, I think it does really help on small channels. And obviously, I'm in a niche within a niche. So anything you can do, just take the few seconds to hit that like button or whatever, I would really appreciate it. And maybe, look, one day, I earn enough money from a video like this where it can pay for half of the refurbishment of 1 wheel. That's the dream, right? Look, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Go check out some of my other videos. Bye-bye.